Hello folks, welcome back to the workshop. Quick catch up on what I've been up to yesterday and then we'll get on with some projects today. First thing, if you remember, I bought the little LED tail light for the Yamaha originally with the built-in indicators and stuff. That didn't really work for that bike. I didn't like it, didn't suit it. But I knew I'd have a use for it one day, so obviously I kept hold of it, and here we go. I'll have to see how this all sort of pans out once it's plugged in and we've got power to it. See like how much light it gives out, if it's going to be enough. Maybe I'll have to add additional things, I don't know. But I think it's turned out pretty well. I made a little housing for it, so it's a bit more discreet and not just a stick-on piece of crap. Dead easy how I made that. It's literally just, I bought a LED strip for the van to go down the side, and I bought this like right angle aluminium channel for it. So all I did was got two pieces of this. I don't know if I've got another bit to demonstrate with. So I got two pieces of this stuff, one there and one flipped over, sandwiched together. On the back side I used the this is like the diffuser for this, so that just clips on, so that's given us that nice rounded profile on the back. And then I've done the same on the front side, but just cut the ends so that the light's exposed in the middle. And then for the edges of it, which turned out really well, I just shoved them with filler, the same filler that I used on the tank. Yeah, it looks like a bought part. It almost looks a bit too good, to be honest. It looks like I've just got it from Audi, like an LED, batten strip or something. I don't know if it looks too manufactured, but for now it's okay. It's addressed the tail light issue. But yeah, I'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to change it at the end. I don't know. It's only held on with 2 screws anyway. So there's that. I've also gone across, but I've given the paint a first pass with the sanding to start flattening it off, ready for polishing when that time comes. So I've done the tank and the cowling, and I've gone over most of the frame as well, smoothed that down, because it can all be done and it'll all polish up really nice when the time comes. Yeah, it's quite impressed with the frame actually. That's going to come up really nice. And I think the tank will as well. So yeah, that's in. Obviously you saw me do the shock and everything the other day. The last project I was working on towards the end of yesterday was, now I said that I was going to buy foot pegs, remember? Because obviously the standard ones, is this going to reach? Ugh. So as you can see, if that's in focus, that is turd. So I needed to do something. I had a little look through my wall of parts and found some rear hangers. I think these are actually from an R1. It's probably one of the R1s, either that or the R6, I can't remember. But yeah, so I found them, and obviously they had foot pegs attached to them. So last night's little project, I was just experimenting. So these have been lacquered now, just this side. I've took the bracket down to bare steel and lacquered that. I think that looks quite nice. And then the foot peg is going to sit on like that. Is that the right way? I think it is. Obviously I've got washers and things that I packed it out with. This is where I need a lathe, because you see there's a gap there. If I had a lathe I could just turn a spacer to fit that, but for now I'm just going to have to use washers. But then that, oh, got it on backwards, didn't I? That's going to sit on there. I'm not sure if I'm leaving these silver yet or not, the actual pegs themselves. I ground off the silver paint because that looked really shit. But this is just bare aluminium now. And yeah, I don't know yet. I may end up painting them black. In fact, I probably will paint them black, to be honest. Maybe I'll do that with this one today before I even put the lacquer on it. But obviously it's going to wear down though, so you know, can't really get around that. But yeah, I think that looks 100 times better than these whopping great things. You definitely don't want to use them. So yeah, there we go. That's just saved, you know, 20 quid or whatever on buying foot pegs. So we're going to start the day by doing the other side, getting that ready, because it still looks like this. So I need to take it apart, clean it all off, lacquer the various bits, and then if I'm going to, I don't know, I'll think about the pegs themselves. Not sure yet. Maybe that splash of colour's a good thing. I've done the tank cap as well. So I cleaned that right up on the wire wheel. That used to be like a matte black. It was all chipped and it looked shit. So I didn't go for a full polish on it, but I cleaned that up pretty good, and that's the same kind of aluminium as these, so it's the same colour. So I don't know if maybe to leave them and then they'll sort of match, but we'll see. Right, let's get on with it. Need to be quite careful with them because they're not really dry yet, but you know, impatient and all that. So for now, I'm going with a washer pack just until I can find something better, basically. I'm going to put the pack at the top. Set that in there. Pop the pin in, flip her over, and then I'm going to use this little plate because it's the right size, just as the final sort of compression spacer, if you like. There we go. Now that looks better. I think you'll agree that that looks better than the aluminium. Absolutely. So I'm just going to finish this off with a washer on the back and a split pin. And that's it. I'm happy with that. And they function as well. Obviously they fold back. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to ruin all the paint, but so I've done a little bit of work off camera, more lacquering of parts. Been waiting to get these bits back on though, because they're getting a bit annoying just sitting there. So I'll just stick this on roughly for now, so it's out of the way. God, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So this hanger, or this rear set, if you like, on this side is a bit different because the exhaust hanger is built into it, and obviously the back brake lever. Okay, better. So then the rear brake arm for the drum comes off here and goes to the back. God, these look brilliant. It just changes the whole look of the bike. It looks so much more sporty without the naff pegs on it. Just getting some of these engine mounts nipped up now, because I want to get the chain on and the side cover, so I'm not going to be able to access them once that's on. So like I say, I've got to go over the whole bike, every bolt, and make sure it's tight, which I'll do on like the final assembly. So now we can get this sprocket cover on. Okay, get the chain on first. Just need to undo the split link. That's it there, if you've not seen one of them before. Good little tip for remounting these is to make sure, well, good little tip to remember for putting these back on. Someone told it to me years ago, and it was make sure the little fish is always swimming upstream. It's ridiculous, but it's always stuck. So I'm going to get this installed now without scratching the whole bike up, if I can. So this chain is obviously already set to the right length, so I don't need to worry about that. Oops. Like I say, I will lubricate all of this before I actually use it, but for now, while it's in the workshop, I'm not going to bother. You can see the split link just there, so the fish wants to be swimming upstream. There we go. Done. So now I can put the side cover on and the gear linkage and all of that good stuff. That lives just there. Like that. So now my shiny new gear linkage can go back on. So we can take that out of the parts pile. There we go. So that goes on there. And this piece bolts onto there. About right. Something like that. Need a bolt for that. Let's use another Allen for my riding position, but it'll do for now. So I'm actually going to clean up these rubber bits. I've got to order some stuff to get a nice shine back on these, but can't afford it yet, so that's going to have to wait till the end. One thing I do need to do though is get a new circlip for that, because that fell off years ago. And I ended up lock wiring it for a long time, which is obviously stupid, but you know, needs must and all of that. I'm just wiring up this brake light, or just straight into the battery. Really, just out of curiosity. I want to see what it looks like. As I'm sure you do as well. I think yellow is side light. No, maybe not. Let's go for white. That looks kind of mean. Oh, it's reflecting off the top as well. That looks insanely cool. See, this bike it suits. Let's try a brake light. Which I'm guessing is red. That's pretty awesome. And then if you've not seen this light on the other channel, so the indicators are built in. That's me doing that, by the way. If I hold it on, it'll just stay there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Very happy with that. Right, the audio may not be great, so apologies in advance. Yeah, there's not much day left, but I've just been sitting in here now, just trying to do something different, really. Something not mechanical. So I've been marking up this Mudguard, because I think I want to try and use it, if I can. Whether I'll be able to or not, I don't know, but I'll have a go. Now, I think I've got an idea laid out, cutting quite a bit off it. I'm not just going straight across with these tape lines, don't worry. It's not going to be that rubbish. I've mapped out what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to go for it, to be honest. Nice and gentle, probably going to do it with a hacksaw and then neaten it up with files rather than using power tools because it's plastic, so obviously it's going to melt. I think it's so scary because this is one of those jobs you literally get one attempt, and if it goes wrong, then that's it. No Mudguard. Not unless you're an epically skilled plastic welder, which I am not. Okay, so I've done the initial cuts. I'm really liking how it looks from the front, but it needs more work, obviously. I've still got to sort the bottom out. But yeah, I think it's probably going to work. Not sure about the back yet though. I may end up cutting along this line so that it follows. I don't know, we'll see. There's a steel frame on the inside of it, so I can probably use that. But that angle, that works really well. Right, the camera's about to go flat, so I'm going to sign off here and we'll carry on tomorrow. See you in a bit.